Good morning and welcome to today's episode of the Fiji Times News and Sports Headlines, a snapshot of our main stories in today's edition. And leading news today, shift taxes from salaries to carbon to stop subsidizing fossil fuels and to stop building new coal plants by 2020 was a UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres' call when he addressed Pacific leaders at the Pacific Islands Forum in Suva yesterday. Mr. Guterres is currently on his first official visit to the Pacific, including Fiji. Yesterday, the head of the UN body addressed Pacific leaders at the Pacific Islands Forum in Suva and pleaded with the leaders to stop taxing people, but instead tax pollution. He said taxpayer money should not be used to boost hurricanes, spread a drought and heat waves, melt glaciers and bleach corals. Mr. Guterres said it needed to be made clear that the world could not have an increase in temperature at the end of the century above 1.5 degrees. And he said the world needed to accept that for that there was a need to achieve zero emissions by 2050. He said this was achievable, but it required transformational action. And in other news, opposition leader Sitiveni Rabuka has accused the Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Kayum of misleading Parliament amidst claims he waived procurement regulations by awarding Govis MSL Group $4.6 million for public relations services and development of the COP23 presidency website. During a debate on changing the name of the COP23 Presidency Trust Fund to Climate Action Trust Fund in Parliament yesterday, Mr. Rabuka questioned the transparency and accountability of the donor-funded COP23 Presidency Trust Fund. He said nobody, including the minister responsible, had powers to waive procurement regulations for tender process unless there was an emergency like natural disasters. In response, the AG said Mr. Rabuka had quoted from a leaked document. And still in Parliament, Fiji's climate change champion and Minister for Defense Inia Seriratu said the German government had provided $173 million to the Fijian government to host COP23 in Bonn, Germany in 2017. While speaking on the need to change the name of the COP23 Presidency Trust Fund to Climate Action Trust Fund in Parliament yesterday, he said after being appointed as the climate change champion in Morocco in 2016, he met with representatives from Germany to discuss the funding of the global discussions. And in business, there is a great potential for Fiji to develop the meetings, incentives, conventions and exhibitions market. Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Kayum said the tourism sector obviously was a very critical part of the country's economy as it contributed approximately 36% towards the nation's GDP. He said the recent hosting of the Asian Development Bank meeting was an ability for Fiji to show itself. And the Corona Fiji held their monthly meeting at the Novotel Suva Lani Bay to raise funds for supplies for the Colonial War Memorial Hospital in Suva. Corona Fiji's main event was a fundraiser of a fashion show which showcased the different ways to incorporate fashion into a modern Zulu and chamba dresses. President of the group, Joe Dearsley, said the fashion show was just a bit of fun for their members to showcase Fiji. She also said the vendors at their meetings are never charged to pay, as they just gave to gift a donation to the group for the raffle prizes as a way to promote the country. Corona Fiji raises around $8,000 a year, according to Ms. Dearsley, from their monthly meetings. And in sports, the Fiji Airways Fiji Sevens team left for the HSBC World Rugby London Sevens yesterday in a bid to acclimatise to the conditions a week early. The team will face Kenya, France and Samoa in its pool in London. Fiji Sevens assistant coach Kane Jury said they were going early to get the body of the players in the right shape. He said it will be a long flight and the opportunity to go to London in Paris is exciting and one which they are taking with two hands and with big smiles on their faces. The boys, Jury said, are really excellent and there is not really much that bothers them. Fiji Rugby League men's nines team coach Vula Ndakwitonga has set his focus to improve the men's fitness as they prepare for the 2019 Samoa Pacific Games. Ndakwitonga said his focus was on their fitness both on the stands in the gym and their endurance out on the field. He said playing nines is like playing rugby sevens, a game of space and numbers, and for him when they march into camp 2 weeks they will work on their pattern. And Fijian-born winger Alivereti Raka has been named in France's preliminary squad for this year's World Cup, the French Rugby Federation announced on Tuesday. Uncapped Raka, 24 years of age, received his French citizenship in November and has impressed four-club side Clermont in the past 4 seasons, but missed out on the selection for the Six Nations due to a hand injury. He will join 2 other Fijian-born players in Noa Nekatadi and Virimi Vakatawa in the French Rugby World Cup squad. And looking at the weather, fine apart from brief showers over the eastern and interior parts of the larger islands. Mainly fine elsewhere with cool nights, except moderate to rough, expect moderate to fresh southeast winds with moderate to rough seas. Outlook for tomorrow, fine apart from brief showers over the eastern and interior parts of the larger islands, elsewhere mainly fine and cool at night. That is all we have from the Fiji Times newsroom. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and like our Facebook page. Also subscribe to our website to get the latest news, sports, regional, and world news. For news tips, email us at timesnews@fijitimes.com.fj. Thank you for your company. Until tomorrow, have a great day.